Avon Resources Limited is a gold exploration company with significant projects in British Columbia, Saskatchewan, and the Yukon. Trading on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ABN, and the pink symbol ABN-AF. Surrounded by world-class gold deposits and mines, Avon's 23,000 hectares Forest Kerr Gold Project is located in the heart of the Golden Triangle in northwestern BC. For more information, visit us at avonresources.com.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Mish Shedlock, editor of Mish's Global Economic Trend Analysis on MishTalk.com. Welcome back to the show, Mish.
Yeah, pleasure to be back on. I'm heading out of town next week, going to the Badlands, and some state parks around there, hoping to do some nighttime photography, going there during a new moon.
Mish, real earnings. Did they really go up?
That's an interesting article today out on, actually, two reports from the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Some people change those three letters into something else. But the first one was on the CPI. It jumped 0.4%. And then the second report from the BLS was on real earnings. And real earnings declined 0.3%. And of course, that's what happens when your costs go up and your wages don't rise. From a year ago, the real earnings are up about 0.7%, and some of that is because people are putting in more hours. So lovely. And this, of course, is if you believe the CPI stats that the BLS produces. Most people don't. I don't. I think they're understated from a housing standpoint, and well, certainly they don't measure inflation right at all. They don't include they include rent, but not home prices, and they make substitutions in food prices, et cetera, and the medical percentages are the things that I think are most unbelievable here. People's costs are rising far faster than what the BLS says.
Would it be nice if the government gave us the real inflation stats instead of excluding fuel and housing?
Well, they do, actually. That was the headline number, and what they call the core CPI, and they do the same thing in Europe, by the way. I think it's called HCIP. In Europe, harmonized index of computer prices. In Europe, it's roughly the equivalent of the CPI here in the States. But it's like, okay, let's exclude this, let's exclude that. I mean, as if people don't eat and as if they don't drive cars. But the most irritating thing to me, actually, is not that, but rather the fact that they don't have home prices in the CPI. And of course, I don't believe prices in general can be measured at all. Certainly we can measure the prices of raw commodities, but otherwise there's no such thing as an average price level, an average basket, or even if there was, trying to manipulate something to this basket that really can't be measured at all, as if they even know that inflation is supposed to be 2%. Why 2%? Why not 1? Why not 3? Why not let the market decide, Jim, which is what I've been saying for years.
Well, what I find interesting is how they cook the basket. They used to have the price of steak. Now it's hot dogs, and that is still beef.
Well, yes, they do that. And if beef is on sale or chicken is on sale, they say, well, consumers are going to buy more chicken and less beef. Is that really measuring prices? Or is that measuring a consumer's response as if beef and chicken are equivalent? Maybe someone would really rather have beef, but eats chicken, or vice versa, more than likely that way. But or chicken versus fish, or pork versus beef. But actually, I think food prices are really, at least meat prices, are quite reasonable if you buy stuff on sale and freeze it. I've talked about this for years. I urge people to get a freezer, buy stuff on sale, freeze it. Stuff will last for a year if you wrap it properly. So, actually, I just did this yesterday. I bought prime standing rib roast for $6.99. Now, 3 years ago, you could probably get them for $4.99, but when they're not on sale, they're $10 or $11.99. So $6.99 is a substantial discount if you buy stuff like that on sale. And these roasts cost, at $7 a pound, you buy a 5-pound roast. That's a lot of money right there, and a lot of savings if people would just shop smarter.
Yes, and a lot of people don't realize steak is just a roast cut up.
That's correct. You can also cut them yourself. And, it's boneless, skinless chicken breasts, actually, where I see the greatest fluctuation. I've actually seen them on sale for as low as 99 cents, not on sale, sometimes $3.99. That's like 75% off. I buy them when they're on sale and don't usually get down to 99 cents. But you can buy them for, maybe $1.99 or $1.59 rather than paying, $3.99. Makes absolutely no sense. But, people really don't know how to shop.
Plus, we have farmers markets everywhere right now. Why not get fresh produce and freeze it?
Why? I don't know how well some of the stuff freezes, but if you have something that does freeze, certainly when cheese is on sale, freeze that. Packaged bacon on sale, freeze that. If vegetables freeze, buy them and freeze them. Absolutely. Anyway, we're sort of wandering here down a tangent, but that's what I propose. But if you just look at what the BLS says is happening and what is actually happening, I think there's two different things. On the other hand, I'm not one of these who believes that the CPI is really going up 12% a year. I have people making that claim. It's somewhere in the middle here, Jim. They understate what it is by a substantial amount, but not an enormous amount. And so, and there was a study, and I commented on this just yesterday, that came out from the Census Bureau, and they looked at median household income. And this I found was really interesting. The median income for males is below where it was in 1973. Quite amazing. However, the median household income hit a new all-time high. It only took 17 years to do this, by the way, since the year 2000, and it's solely because of the rising wages for women. Jim, that's a good thing. I'm all in favor of equality here. So women have gone from earning from 60% of what men make to 80%. Of course, I have some problems with, how they judge job equivalence here. It's more than likely the percentage is even closer than that. Leaving that kind of stuff aside, though, it took 17 years to make this new high, and we're actually just back to where we were in the year 2000 in aggregate, but it took a methodology change to get there. They changed their questions, and they said that under the new questions, the responses are 3% higher than under the under the old questions. So I commented on my blog, when all else fails, change the methodology. So ignoring the methodology change, we're still below where we were 17 years ago.
We'll have more with Mike Shedlock right after this.
I'm Larry Ray, President and CEO of American Manganese, Inc., listed on the TSX Venture, ticker symbol AMY, A-M-Y, with proprietary patents in the U.S., China, and South Africa. Our focus is on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. China recently legislated the responsibility for recycling onto their electric vehicle manufacturers and importers. For more information, please visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
Arctic Star Exploration, operated by a team of proven mine finders, is focused on diamonds in Finland and the Northwest Territories of Canada. A work program is planned for our Finland property that contains diamond-bearing kimberlite. Arctic Star trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ADD, and the Frankfurt Exchange, symbol 82A1. Please visit our website at arcticstar.ca or call us at 604-689-1799.
Welcome back. We're chatting with Mish Shedlock. Mish, Rickards says the next financial crisis is 6 to 8 months away. Janet Yellen told us we wouldn't have any financial crises in our lifetime. Who's right?
That's an interesting observation. I wish I would have thrown that in there. My take is both of them are likely to be wrong. Will we have a financial crisis here? His prediction, by the way, was based on war with North Korea. I think the safe thing to do is to bet against any of these short-term predictions like this. But it's possible. It's possible we have war with North Korea tomorrow. I don't know what North Korea will do or what Trump will do at any one time, and no one else does either. I don't even know if Trump knows what he will do. So it's possible we blow up, attack North Korea, but Seoul's something like 20 miles away from the border. So if Seoul gets hit, I think we're going to have an instant global recession. I think the supply chain disruption is going to be massive, and I do think we may have a financial meltdown. Certainly, we have a stock market meltdown is quite likely. But as for going around predicting that this is going to happen in 8 months, it's a tactic to sell newsletters and strategies, and this is how you need to prepare yourself. It all just it galls me. I think that's the one of the correct words that I might use here on this. I really cannot stand this kind of hype, but I will tell you that hype sells, so that's why they do it.
We'll have more with Mike Shedlock right after this.
I'm Brian Fowler, president of Blind Creek Resources Limited, listed on the TSX Venture Exchange, ticker symbol BCK. Blind Creek is focused in the Yukon, Northwest Territories, and British Columbia. The company's key property is the Blend Project, one of the largest undeveloped lead-zinc-silver deposits in Western Canada, plus plans to advance the recently acquired, fully permitted historic engineered gold mine in the Atlan District of Northwestern BC. Check us out at blindcreekresources.com.
Keep informed. Receive our weekly recap of thought-provoking articles, podcasts, and radio delivered to your inbox for free. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage, HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Mike Shedlock. Mish, gold coins, silver coins, bitcoins. What would you have in your portfolio if you wanted to protect yourself if the markets do melt down, if North Korea goes nuke?
Well, I have gold. I have gold miners. I think they will both do pretty well here in that kind of scenario. I think the more likely, scenario here is simply the Fed doesn't hike and the U.S. economy starts tanking. We have trade wars with China. We've talked about all of this kind of stuff before. Anything can set off a downturn in the market in which the Fed reacts and cheapens the U.S. dollar, and we get into more competitive currency debasement schemes, with the euro. The euro has rallied substantially here. Mario Draghi, ECB president, does not seem to like that. Japan now owns something like 70% of the ETFs in Japan. I mean, good grief. How much more interference are we going to see before people realize, that there is no man behind the curtain, that the man behind the curtain has no power, actually, is what I mean to say. So, but I don't know, Jim. I mean, we're all guessing. We've all been guessing for years. But investors certainly have gotten extremely complacent now, just as they did in 2000, just as they did in 2006 and 2007, with the belief that nothing can go wrong as long as the music is still playing. We're going to keep dancing. Chuck Prince, CEO of who was that? Citigroup, I believe, said that, and 2 months later he was gone in a financial crisis. So these are the kinds of things. None of this is a prediction. I don't know when any of this stuff is going to matter. No one else does either. But it's pretty clear we're in a bubble, and it's equally pretty clear that, well, it's certain the Fed doesn't see it. And it's clear that most investors don't see it either, and those that do just say, well, I'll get out on time. History suggests they won't.
The Nafta negotiations, everybody's complaining that everybody else is talking hardball.
Yeah, how's that going to work? Mexico's complaining about the labor prices Canada is complaining about the labor prices in Mexico. Trump has similar complaints. Everyone wants to bring the jobs back home. Well, the jobs might return. The manufacturing might return, but the jobs won't. We have a shoe factory opening up, a T-shirt factory opening up here, in the U.S. is going to produce 24 million T-shirts a year at an average price of 30 cents a piece, and they're going to employ 400 people. So that's the kind of thing we're talking about here. So we're in the process of seeing manufacturing return without the jobs. Is that a good thing? I don't know. It's better to have something here than nothing here. But, this idea that we're going to have these jobs return and they're going to be high paying is just nonsensical, Jim.
Mike, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Pleasure to be on the show. I will be out the next week, and we'll catch you in a couple.
My guest has been Mike Mish Shedlock, editor of Mish's Global Economic Trend Analysis on mishtalk.com. You're listening to HowStreet.com Radio. Find us on Twitter at TalkDigitalNet. Our popular YouTube channel is Talk Digital Network. Questions for the show or our guests can be sent to info@HowStreet.com. I'm Jim Goddard. Thanks for listening.
Comments made on HowStreet.com Radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HowStreet.com Radio is a production of HowStreet Media Incorporated.